Hey Axis and Allies players, the good captain here. Welcome to a review of Russia's round 3 and Germany's round 3 in this game of Axis and Allies 1914 played against a human opponent. The German purchase was 13 infantry and 1 fighter, as you can see here, all spent. The combat move is to send 1 German infantry into Belarus and ram the rest up into Livonia. I'll touch very briefly on this at the end of Germany's turn. Okay, the rest of these, the Polish or Silesia moves to Poland, except for 1 artillery. I've decided to about face with 1 barrel and head this direction. I also want to stack 3 fighters up in Poland, sort of chase down these Russian fighters. Keep it at 3-2. We can project our power into the relevant Russian territories for the Germans in the following turn. Okay, and then everybody else is basically going to ram into the Ruhr. So we push Ruhr, push the Ruhr, leave a blocker, push Ruhr. Even this fellow in Tyrolia will move Munich, and Trieste will move Tyrolia. Okay, almost done here. We're going to move this fighter to Silesia. 2 infantry from Berlin to Kiel. 4 infantry from Berlin to Silesia, and 3 infantry from Berlin to Hanover. So just sort of a fanning out of all these pieces. Okay, and then we will bring the German fleet into Berlin, sea zone north of Berlin, to improve their health. Get that battleship prepared, and then just scan around. For Africa, I can think of no better spots to die than they're at right now, so we'll just stand fast. Done out. Place units, and then we'll have a very brief discussion on the East Front. I don't want to get too far into this. Much of this is going to be run through or talked out on my primary channel in a video dedicated exclusively to the Russian Revolution rule. Not just the rule, because anyone can read that and comprehend it, or say they do, but there needs to be a whole video on the implications of this rule. Because in the fewest amount of words, the rule forces the Russian player to perform a defense of its capital inefficiently, but it's actually far more complicated than that. And I still feel like, even after 35 games, that I'm still, I think I've wrapped my head around maybe 85 to 90% of this rule. And so I'll just say very quickly, one of the things it appears beneficial to do as the CP player is to bear hug the Russian capital, and that is essentially to put your armies in positions where they can at least theoretically control all the territories adjacent to the capital, Moscow, at the end of their turn. So Germany just moved into Livonia. Livonia is the most important of all of the territories adjacent to Moscow, because it can project into Karelia and Belarus. Ukraine or Tatarstan are the other 2. If you have the balance of your army in either one of these locations on the east and in Livonia in the west, you can at least, in theory, bear hug the Russian capital. And sort of a cliffhanger. Why would you want to do this thing? Why would you want that to be the case? Well, in theory, unless you control every single territory adjacent to the Russian capital, the Russians are the final power that have a say in whether an armistice is offered or not. In other words, even a contested territory can be retreated into. So, you know what? I don't want to go. I don't want to. This will just go. This conversation will go forever. It'll turn into a 15-minute video if I keep talking down this road. So I'm just gonna make my moves and just again table that discussion for the primary channel's video. So I'm attempting a bear hug or putting myself in a position for a bear hug. Okay, I think that's good enough. Thanks for watching. All the best from the good captain, and bye-bye.